Action Park Media.
And the nominees for Best Actor in a Comedy are Steve Carell, The Office.
Love him.
Alec Baldwin, 30 Rock.
Oh, he's good.
David Duchovny, Californication.
Love to work with that guy.
Tony Shalhoub, Monk.
One of my favorites.
And Kevin Connolly, Entourage.
Great mother of God. It's going to be a long night for the Connolly family.
Welcome to Victory Not the Podcast. That clip brings me back so many memories. I mean, Entourage was the Buffalo Bills of television. We went 0 for 6 Golden Globes, 0 for 5 Emmys. But what I want to talk to you guys about, and the truth is, it's sad to say this now, whether I'm jaded, I don't care about those things at all anymore. I really don't. When we got nominated the first time for Best Comedy, it was a pretty big moment in my life. So I want to know for you guys, Entourage was your first nominations. You were both nominated for Emmys and Golden Globes, correct?
Yeah, 0 for 4 for me. 3 Emmys and a Golden Globe. I got nothing. But I remember that morning, they always announce them for some reason like 5 o'clock in the morning. And my manager called up and woke me up, and I was like, I don't really care. I want to go back to sleep. That was really the only memory I had.
I think Piven stole some of your awards, by the way, because you were against each other.
Yeah, he got them all.
Hey, Dillon, is it true that you pulled the plug out of your landline because your phone was ringing so much and you got nominated? You wanted to go back to sleep?
I still had a landline back then. Yep.
Pulled the plug out of your landline because people were calling to congratulate you about your nomination. That's pretty gangster.
And were you excited, though? Were you like, wow, this is pretty cool? Or you're like, whatever?
I thought it was cool, but I was just tired. I wanted to go back to sleep.
So, Kevin Connolly, you were nominated for a Golden Globe as well. So who called you and told you got nominated?
I panicked. I had no clue about anything. And then I picked up the phone and it was you. And I as I remember it, you said...
I remember what happened. I woke up and I freaked out. I'm like, holy shit, Connolly got nominated, which was not, listen, it wasn't expected. I called you up and you said...
Are you sure?
Yeah, and when you said, are you sure? I kind of was like 5 in the morning, and then I got nervous, like maybe I fucked up. I'm like, I think so. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I remember like, you think? It just happened so quick, but...
Well, you never called me for any of my nominations, Doug.
You know what? You never pick up the phone when I call.
You didn't know what number to call.
Our first one for Best Comedy, I was stunned. I honestly had no idea. I didn't wake up for it. The next 5 years after that, I was up every year at 6 a.m. waiting, and we kept getting nominated, and we kept losing. So it was still fun. So I want to get into, though, the fun of these events and the nights.
People listening to the show, and I guess this is kind of common knowledge, but the big difference between the Emmys and the Golden Globes is that the Golden Globes is really a party.
Yeah.
You're sitting at a table, you get drinks, you got food. This is like one of my favorite like Kevin Dillon stories, and this is why I always love the Golden Globes.
I'm scared.
I mean,
right
like,
now.
look, we're gonna get there. Yeah, I don't think it's any secret that Kevin and I and Adrian. It's funny because Jerry would come with us, but before a red carpet or he would meet up and have a drink, walk the carpet together. We always had a great time doing that.
Well, me and you would usually throw each other under the bus.
Yeah, we had to call a truce. We had to call a ceasefire.
Ceasefire. I won't say anything about you.
Dillon said that I looked like Connolly walked into work this morning looking like he got maced on CNN.
Because you would look hungover.
I said, Kevin, and
the
you
reason
knew.
I did that, Kevin.
You knew. You were like, I'm like, Kevin, this is a fucking war.
You hit me on the fake tan because I was at one of those giveaway suites, and he's like, look at Dillon got a fake tan because I got a spray tan on. So I was like, oh, okay.
Also, too, so Kevin and I, we're out at the bar. And we're at the bar at the Golden Globes, and we got a nice little buzz. We come back. We're having a fucking great time. Dillon and I are sitting next to each other, and it's $1 Million Baby, and Hilary Swank wins Best Actress for $1 Million Baby.
And forgets to thank our boy Chad Lowe.
And she's giving the speech, and she's like, Clint, this is some of the best work you've ever done. And Dillon's like,
clearly she hasn't seen Outlaw Josie Wales.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's what it was. I was laughing so hard. I was like, okay, this isn't funny to anybody else, but Dillon and I was fucking out the door, but it was awesome.
Hey, Kev, you got to help me out right here. The guy who won, he went to my school.
Oh, my goodness. Bennett Miller is the guy's name. And he directed Capote. He directed Foxcatcher. He directed Moneyball. This guy's the real deal. Now, the other good thing, too, about the Golden Globes, which is always my favorite part about the Golden Globes, is like, first of all, you have a reason to be there. Your show is nominated, so you don't feel like a loser being there. You're hanging out with cool people. We're out on the back, again, cigarette smoking days, Dillon and I having a
Kevin
cigarette.
Bacon,
It's me, Dillon, Kevin Bacon, and we're just like shooting the shit and smoking.
And
this
Bennett
guy,
Miller.
this guy, Bennett Miller,
Yes.
walks up and he says to Kevin, "Yeah, you know, we went to high school together." Dillon's like, "Really? Hope I didn't smack you around too bad." Right? And then he
As
goes,
a matter of fact.
No, he said, actually, you were very nice to me. And Dillon's like, "Well, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "No, I directed a movie that's, I'm not
Good. I'm glad
nominated."
you said that because I was nice to him.
Yeah,
I liked him.
yeah.
I always liked Ben.
Well, this is the funny part. You're like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, I directed a movie. I'm nominated for Best Director. And like, "What movie?" He's like, "Capote." He's like, "You directed Capote?" Bennett Miller goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "I always liked you, right, bro?" I had this like look of shock on my face. I was just kind of sitting, and I remember Kevin Bacon saying, "Oh yeah, no, you heard that. That happened. that just happened." I'm like, "Okay, good. I'm glad you could confirm that."
That's what's amazing about the Golden Globes. You're kind of surrounded in the mix with everybody.
Remember this one?
I was
Dillon?
about.
Yeah, I remember
okay.
that. I know what you're gonna say.
So Dillon and I would do that. We had a history like
We would
times,
try and humiliate each other
Right,
every
at-
chance we could.
At,
in front
at
of-
times we had to back off it. We knew
We
it. It
had
was
to back
getting a little
off.
hot and
But
heavy.
we were still in it.
right.
now.
It was getting hot and heavy. It'd be like, all right, let's cool this.
I was
one
at
off.
the urinal at the Golden Globes.
Right, Dillon.
And you came up
Dillon,
next.
But Dillon like went in front of me. We went together, and he got. I just got.
I got-
hung up.
I
So
got
Dillon is
the urinal
in the
before
urinal.
you.
Pierce Brosnan, Malkovich. I mean, the list goes on and on of people that are in the bathroom. And I walk in, and Dillon looks over his shoulders like, "Cover up, gentlemen. We got a peeker here." When I tell you, there were guys that you would think don't even have a personality or a
They
sense of humor.
busted out.
Fucking not a person in that room was it.
Busted
The
out.
entire room was
And by the way, they were
hysterically
covering up a
laughing.
little bit too. They were like, "Whoa, we're gonna watch out for this peeker." I really am glad that I don't have to go to those award shows anymore. For a year, that was a grind. I mean,
I thought you sound like you had a great time.
We did.
we did, but I mean, putting on a tuxedo and just missing playoff games.
It's funny because I really, more in hindsight, I realized how bad my anxiety was. I just always had a hard time on the carpets. I wish I would have enjoyed that a little more, to be honest.
Let's call it like it is. You really didn't have any chance of giving a speech that night.
Even your mother said that. Connolly's date was his mother. I remember. What did your mother say? Remember?
Well, I kind of muttered under my breath after you do the fake golfer clap when they don't announce your name. And I just was like, fuck. I kind of muttered under my breath. And my mom looked at me. She's like, "You didn't really think you were going to beat Alec Baldwin, did you?"